Hello and welcome to the Incursion Podcast, your weekly podcast all about indie games. We bring you the news about indie games, a little nifty, I don't even know where I was going with that. A little nifty indie games release schedule that is remarkably light this week. It was kind of annoying. And of course, we bring you some Kickstarter indies. And my favorite part of the podcast, I ask probing questions about my co-hosts. It's probably my favorite thing to do in general, like just during the week. I'm a really big fan of it. As always, I'm joined by the illustrious Big Josh Boy. How you doing?
Big
you like
Josh
that?
Boy. Oh yeah. I love it. Let's go, baby.
I seem to remember you being avidly against me calling you Big Josh Boy. So I'm glad you now endorse it.
I have to.
I'm glad you'll thrive with this new name.
I'm trying that reverse psychology, but it didn't work. It's okay. What's going on, man? How's your week been?
It's been pretty good, dude. It's been pretty good. I mean, today was kind of a letdown, because
okay.
I mean, we'll get into that way when I ask you a question. Yeah, make sure if you want to know why I'm let down. Yeah, you guys can wait till the end of the podcast. I'm gonna be one of those assholes. But overall, really good. Still playing Mass Effect 3.
Wow.
Just about to finish it because the fucking Citadel DLC is like the longest thing ever. Everybody's like, hey, I know you just finished a mission. Let's fucking talk for an hour. And I really enjoy the parts with Grunt and Rex, but some of the other people, I'm like, hey, fuck off. Like, I just don't want to talk to you. And it really annoys me that several of your companions in Mass Effect 3, Mass Effect 2, you couldn't romance. So in 3, when it seems like you can romance them, I'm like, I already chose the better romance, which is Tally. Only good person to romance in those games, Tally. You wouldn't know, but Josh, because you have not played them.
I wouldn't.
But Tally. That's it.
All right. I'll keep that in mind next time I pick that up. Maybe never.
You should really play. I'm going to tell you right now, though. Ashley, space racist. Miranda, boring. Liara, boring. Tally, she's sweet. I like Tally.
Wow. Thanks for the cliff notes. That was great.
You're welcome. Samara, really cool, but apparently she doesn't want to, like, dick you down until the third game, I guess.
Wow. Well, sometimes the dicking takes a while, you know what I'm saying?
And even then, I don't know. She just tells you you're remarkable.
Yeah, I think Gandhi once said that. But anyway...
direct quote.
Yeah, direct quote.
What have you been playing this week?
I've been playing. So I finished Kingdom Hearts. Keep your eyes peeled for that review. I won't talk too much about that because I went on a whole rant last time. Found out though that you can swap the action commands, which I found out after I had beaten the game, and I was like, well, fuck, this sucks. I went on a whole rant about this last time, and it didn't even matter. I was just pissed off.
Did you get the quote-unquote secret ending?
No, I didn't, but my good old friend YouTube showed me the secret ending, so I want to say I basically got it.
I mean, it sounds like you need to replay through, because you just figured out that you could switch that, and... you didn't get the secret ending? Sounds like it needs a play number 2, you know what I mean?
I know, maybe. Actually, one of the cool things about it after the game is there's like this end game content of having these little like challenge modes where you find them in the worlds. Now there's these little like blue spiky things, and you go through and you find like basically just battles of like hordes of monsters, and in some of them there's like mini bosses, which is actually cool. I might actually pick it back up just to go through all of those just to see how they are. But other than that, the newest thing that I started getting into is a game called West of Loathing. So if you haven't played West of Loathing, it looks really silly because it's essentially stick figures. And it's an RPG that's set back in like the Old West time. And
no
if anyone,
way.
I know, and if anyone knows of the old browser game called Kingdom of Loathing, it basically plays a lot like that in the fact that it's kind of an RPG, and you're leveling up your different character. You get, I think it was 3 classes to choose from, which is kind of like a guy who uses potions, one who shoots things, and one who punches things. I don't remember what the names are because I just started it, but I am the Cow Puncher, and I picked it mainly because of the name. But basically, I get cow punching moves, And the reason why that makes sense is because for some reason in the game, there's evil demon cows who are killing everyone. So basically, you're this character who just goes out to kind of find himself and kind of, you know,
Punch cows.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, that's basically my character.
Nice.
But it's like, it's very, like, the drawing of it is very crude because it's just stick figures and it's all black and white. But the dialogue, the, like, actual writing of this game is just fantastic. Like, and it's very surprising, a lot of the things that it will do in it. One of my favorite moments was when I was playing the game, and a lot of it is very text-based. But so you're going through, and this one event happens, and it's like, oh, there's bandits ahead of you. You'll have to be real sneaky. And there's a couple of options that you can pick. And one of them is just like, okay, great. And the other one was, well, that's okay, because my middle name is Sneaky. And I clicked that one, like, as a joke, because I was like, sure, whatever. And the game then responded with a text message back and goes, wait, really? And you could either click yes or no. And I just clicked yes, and then that's all the game does. And I was like, oh, that was weird. But then you look at your character sheet, and now my middle name in the actual naming is Sneaky. Like, they put that in there just because of that moment. And I was like, oh, shit, that's really cool. Like, I wouldn't have expected that. It, like, caught me off guard. Like, there's little things like that in the dialogue that are just very subtle, or just really very well thought out and kind of clever, that it keeps you going, even if the gameplay is very basic RPG sort of kind of like a turn-based game, but it's more of you playing it for the story and the dialogue that goes through. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I actually picked it up because it was bundled with the new DLC that just dropped like a few days ago. It was pretty quietly dropped. It kind of came out of nowhere, which I think it was either Rock, Paper, Shotgun, someone on there, I don't remember the person, did an article about how it was very strange that it just kind of came out and there was really no marketing around it other than like a tweet from the team. So
they pretty much just shadow dropped their DLC.
Yeah. So it was very confusing, but I saw it because I was just going through, like, every once in a while I just look through Steam and go through the new releases, and I was like, oh shit, West of Loathing is a DLC, and I was like, it was part of that lunar sale, so I just ended up picking it up because it was a bundle package. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I definitely recommend it.
So I'm assuming what you like. So the game does not come with the DLC. It's not like the majority of indie games where it releases with like free DLC later on.
No,
you actually have to pay for it.
No, this is paid for DLC. This is a totally different area of the map that was added after, and it's a different story arc. I haven't played into it, so I don't know much about it, and I'm trying not to look into it just yet, just because I want to experience it fully and not actually spoil anything for myself. But this is, I think it's about a $4 purchase, so it's really not that much.
$5.
It's $5.
Yeah, $4.99.
Okay, full.
It's called Reckoning at Gun Manor.
Yeah. So for me, when I picked it up, it was bundled in, so I think it was a lot cheaper at that time anyway. But I mean, $5 really isn't much in comparison to like other games out there. But then again, I can't say for sure how, you know, bang for your buck it is, just because I haven't played that DLC part yet. But if it's anything like the, you know, base platform game right now, I'm glad that I'm going to have more of it.
Nice. You said you're playing it on PC?
Yeah, I'm playing it on PC right now, but it is available for Switch, which is where I was originally going to get it. But, you know, those Steam deals, they get you.
Yeah, you got it on that nice little lunar sale.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, I don't know if this game is on the Epic Store, but I'm just going to take the chance to really shoot into our news now. Speaking of the Epic Store, it's time to move on to our first news story because I'm just terrible at transitions. If you listen to any episode and you're surprised by now that I'm bad at transitions, you should really just, I don't know, think about your life choices, I guess. Just really, like, look into yourself. So for our first story, we are over on IGN. This written by Tom Marks. It is Dev says oops after missing Steam file crash. What the fuck? This is a weird title. Dev says oops after missing Steam file crashes game on Epic Store. I really don't like that title. I feel bad that constantly I'm just kind of like shitting on stuff on this podcast, but I guess it's constantly the joke among podcasters that you actually start a podcast to just shit on things, like to just whine about your problems or shit on things. So I guess we're getting up there with the podcast elite by now.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude.
We're gonna retitle it to VHC. Vodheim Complains.
What? All right. So this goes on to the article's pretty. I mean, there's a decent amount of it that doesn't really matter, but the crux of it is the Epic Game Store.
I just realized what I did. I fucking dyslexia'd myself.
You said my name in the weirdest possible way.
I fucking mixed the H and the GH. Like, I don't know. That was so weird. I said it and I was like, that was kind of strange. The Von Hyde Complains Show.
Von Hyde.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
Just to get it out there, since I think I actually forgot to in the beginning of this, I'm the ghost formerly known as Von Hyde. I'm not even Von Hyde. Okay? Team Cherry, get your head out of your ass and put out a physical edition of Hollow Knight so I don't have to keep referring to myself this way.
I mean, they're
okay?
giving you something, so...
That's true. We will talk about that later in the episode, though. For right now, we need to actually dive into this story. So we've got the Epic Game Store is giving away a new free game every 2 weeks just for logging in, the most recent of which is 2015's Metroidvania hit Axiom Verge. But things didn't go quite according to plan with this one. As reported by PC Gamers, players encountered a consistent crash upon entering a specific area, and it turns out that is because... basically a file was missing, and it's called steam.xnb. The issue has already been fixed by developer Tom Happ. He explained on Twitter that it stemmed from how he moved Axiom Verge over from Steam to the Epic Game Store. Happ automatically excluded any game files with the word Steam in it to cut down on unnecessary file association with Valve's platform. But that inadvertently removed an unrelated sound effect of a burst of steam. And I really hate that he clarifies, like the sound of boiled water, not the store. Okay, that's unnecessary. I don't know why you... I'm assuming that was just meant to be a joke. But yeah, right? So Tom Happ went to Twitter to say, for anyone missing Steam XNB from the Epic Store, please go to AV in your library, click the gear icon, verify, then update. I was thinking, this is so weird. I was thinking it being Epic and all, I shouldn't include Valve's DLLS and such, so I excluded all files with the name Steam in the name. And it's just ... Oops.
Well,
that's one of my favorite responses from a developer on why their game crashed or something. He's like, to be honest, my game is perfectly fine. It's just the fact that I removed any mention of the word Steam because I was putting it on Epic's Game Store.
I mean, he's not wrong. And it's kind of funny now too, because at the end of this, it basically means there's a bunch of it's not really Steam files, but Steam files on the Epic Store.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta wonder, if he... Did he, when the Epic Game Store became a thing, did he go and delete all of the mentions of the word Epic from his game on Steam Store? I'm just saying, or Discord, or just any other retailer entirely.
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's a necessity to delete the word Steam, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know, because, thinking about it, really, this also has ports on, the Switch, did that just not...
Yeah, the Switch, PlayStation 4. Yeah, I believe it's also on Xbox One.
Why was it just specifically here that was a problem? I mean, I don't know anything about, the back end of their game, but it just seems very strange that...
Yeah, it was definitely a weird decision. I don't know if I would have put the effort into actually doing that.
Yeah, should have just called it PC.dll. Fools.
I mean, he needed to know what it was, because obviously he was confused on whether it was the sound of boiling water or the store. Dude,
it's true.
Come on.
Well, that's a big oops if I've ever seen one.
Something cool I'll tell you right now that I bet you didn't know. They actually released physical collector's editions of Axiom Verge on both the Nintendo Switch and PS4. Once again, I don't know for the Xbox One. I actually do not think they did. But the collector's edition actually came with a making of documentary. It's pretty short. It's like 30 to 45 minutes. It's actually a pretty good documentary. It just follows kind of like, it's not necessarily a making of documentary. They just go and interview Tom Happ about the development of Axiom Verge, but it's pretty good. I really enjoyed it. And anything physical is dope. Yeah. Eat my ass, Josh. I mean, so for our next story, we are over on Twinfinite. This written by Craig Snyder. It is Little Legend Kickstarter reaches goal for Switch release in 2020. I would like to just say, it's not a coincidence that we keep featuring games that are getting backed on Kickstarter, dude. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, it seems like we're kingmakers, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Developers, reach out to us. Tell me if your game is coming to Kickstarter. I'm not saying it will succeed. I'm not saying it'll get a Switch port. But I'm just saying, dude, it's not a coincidence, and or it is. So the story goes on to read, Little Legend has managed to reach just above the 35K threshold for the 2020 release on PC and Switch before its Kickstarter campaigns came to a close. God damn, dude. I have so much saliva in my mouth right now. I just ate some Cheez-Its.
Wow.
I was like, oh.
Just
yeah,
watering over this
it's an
game.
issue.
It's just so tempting.
Yeah, it's something. You get to fly as a weasel. So,
hey man, everybody's
if
always
you're looking
wanted to be a
forward
weasel.
to that.
That's like my lifelong dream, is to fly the mountains as a weasel. And this game can finally do it. And I could do it on the go now. Come on, man. This game's got everything.
I mean, you could do it on the go in a year, maybe. If it doesn't get delayed, you could do it on the go. I will say, once again, me shitting on stuff. Literally, this is a news article. The only bit of this that's news is the first sentence. That's literally it. The rest of it is just telling you what Little Legend is.
I mean,
I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all.
In their defense, most people probably don't know about this. Other than,
I mean, yeah, it's fair. It's just, don't make it a news article then. Jeez.
I mean,
freaking link to an editorial or something. I don't know.
It is news though. It made it. I mean, frankly, the only thing I'm upset about is that we weren't credited. But other than that, it's perfectly fine the way it is. I disagree. You
know what? That you're totally right. I shouldn't be annoyed at all that this is totally a half-assed article. I should be annoyed that they did not credit us with the reason that they succeeded.
That's true.
I mean, dude, come on. Hazelnut Bastille blew freaking everybody out of the water. I took credit for it on Twitter. People blew that out of proportion. They were like, hey, guys, obviously you didn't do it. And I was like, hey, guy, it was obviously a fucking joke. Chill out. That was still one of the weirdest moments of my life that they actually took me seriously. I was like, okay, I now understand why everybody gets in fights on Twitter, is that it's very hard to convey like sarcasm in however many like your word limit is. Now I think it's like 250 or 200. So, I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to convey sarcasm. But apparently it is. Little Legend looks really, really cool. It's a 2D side scroller in an open world. Supposedly, it was really ambiguous. It looked really weird. You had like cool magic abilities that you could later on like increase and evolve.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I thought it was really cool. With the exception of you fly and talk to creatures as a magic weasel. That was just fucking weird. I don't know why that's a part.
I'm sure there's something in the lore of it that will make at least a little bit more sense. But yeah, it's a little strange. It does, like I said, my same feeling on it when we initially talked about it is I think this game is going to be a little bit clunky for my taste, just because of the way the animation runs. But I mean, $35,000 is nothing to scoff at. So there's clearly people who want it. So good for them that it actually made it.
That's very true. Yeah. I don't know. It was like 2 or 3 episodes ago that we had Little Engine in God Bless the Crowd as one of our Kickstarter indies. So
like Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, little engine. Yeah. It's actually, you no longer transform into a weasel. You transform into Thomas the Tank Engine, and you
fly?
bombard people.
Dude, that
yeah,
would be
like
an
that
awesome
Skyrim
fucking
mod.
game.
Did you ever see that
Yeah.
Skyrim mod where you turn all the dragons into Thomas the Tank Engine? It was awesome. And then Bethesda's like, "Hey, you want it on PlayStation? You pay us $20 and you can have it. No big deal." Speaking of how I want things to be free, we're gonna move on to our next story. This is over continuing to be on Twinfinite. I'm just gonna shout out to Twinfinite for constantly covering indie games. Big sites like IGN, Polygon, Game Informer, US Gamer, PC Gamer, all these big sites and stuff, they often exclude indie games from the majority of their like news content, or just indie games in general. There's some really popular indie games that never even get reviews, which I totally understand. There's a lot of games news. There are a lot of games out there, but they basically just exclude them in general. And I find that to be kind of depressing. So if you guys ever want some good indie game news, go to Twinfinite. It's awesome. Or just listen to this podcast like you currently are, apparently.
Apparently, I like that.
Because you just heard this. Yeah, if you're here and you heard it, you were
hearing
here.
things.
Yeah, that's a thing. So this on Twinfinite, written by Cole Thamashot? Tomashot? That is a cool name. I really like that name.
It could be Thomas Hot.
Damn it. Yep. It's definitely less cool. Overcooked 2 gets free Chinese New Year update. Overcooked 2 just received a Chinese New Year update that is bringing a bunch of new content to the game, including in the update are kitchens, recipes, chefs, and a new game mode. To access the game's new kitchens, players will go to a new map similar to the main one used for the overworld. The map and kitchens have been themed for Chinese New Year and include new challenges like a dancing dragon. Beating these kitchens will also require chefs to make the master the update's new fruit platter and hot. I don't know why once again, I think I'm just very bad at reading. Let's just be real. It's 18 episodes in, and I realize that I'm just not a strong reader.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
This is gonna
deal.
Be tough getting through these.
Yep, it generally is. Additionally, players will also be able to play on any level with new Chinese dragon and pig chefs. The most exciting additions coming with the update is the survival game mode. In this mode, players are tasked with surviving for as long as possible and will need to add time to the clock by serving dishes. Survival can be played on any kitchen from the main game or the Surf and Turf DLC or seasonal updates. I don't actually follow Overcooked. I should also include that the update is also going to include a handful of bug fists. Fuck,
Bug
dude.
fists.
Today is the bane of my
Bug
fucking
fist.
existence.
Are you trying to transition into the next article?
No, I wasn't at all. I was just trying to say bug fixes, but I really wish I didn't have to talk about this right now. For quality of life changes. So you have played Overcooked 2, correct? You actually enjoy the game. I am not a couch co-op guy. You just orgasm over couch co-op. So let's get deep and dirty into that.
I mean, I wouldn't say orgasm. That's a pretty strong word, but I do rather enjoy them, yes. Overcooked is an awesome series, and it's definitely a friend killer if you don't have the right friends to cook with. But just this update definitely looks dope. Looking at the dragon in the actual part that's like flying around your kitchen table and keeping you from getting to items looks super annoying, but is going to add, that interesting extra element to the game. And the fact that you can now do the survival mode of just adding that to every single level it's really crazy that this is just free. Like, it seems like a lot of content for just being like, yep, here you go. Like,
I wouldn't know.
I
I don't know how much of the content the main game had in it, so I can't really like actually give any expert commentary, let alone commentary in general.
I mean, just for like a general sense, it intrigues me to see updates like these that are just free after a game is going for so long, especially with Overcooked 2 or these general games that don't really have any, at least to my knowledge, I don't remember Overcooked having a monetary benefit of like something like, you know, like a loot box or something where you actually pay them afterwards to get different things. Then again, they might have a cosmetics thing, but I don't even remember. I just end up playing it because I don't actually have the game. I just play with a buddy when I go over to his house.
You bitch. You're the problem.
I'm the problem. Whoa. You don't even play it. At least I could say it's a good game.
I buy games like 10 times over, dude.
I mean, that's why I don't have to.
Sucker.
You're there for me.
That's true.
See?
This is why we're friends.
Yeah, see? You complete me. I'm
glad to hear that.
I like the initial silence. All right. But no, I think it's interesting the way that they're just dropping this, especially out of nowhere, from just like this has been happening with, like I said, with a lot of things, all these ghost DLCs. Like, what are people doing? They're just throwing stuff away.
I think it's awesome. I love free DLC. Dude, I can't even talk today. I'm a mush mouth. Fucking hate me if you have to, guys. I'm done. I love free DLC, and I'm very excited for our next story, which is basically Team Cherry is teasing a new Hollow Knight DLC. So this is actually Hornet's DLC. Sadly, we are recording this on the 13th. Little spoiler, we record this on Wednesdays. Yeah, guys, it's a little weird. And the actual, like, the trailer that's coming is on February 14th, which is tomorrow. I'm assuming you could track that. That math does, in fact, add up. Don't worry, guys. But I loved Hollow Knight, and I think it's so cool that Hornet is getting her own DLC. I have a Hornet plush. I really like it. And recently, we brought on a guy at Parallax who likes Hollow Knight and plushes as much as I do, and it's freaking awesome. He also wrote an article that's going to be coming out soon. You guys should check it out. Parallaxmedia.one about the romances in Hollow Knight. It's really funny. I actually really enjoyed it. My favorite part about this story, though, is that the only thing that is included from Team Cherry are two different tweets. And in one of the tweets when they announced it, if you go down in the comments, there's a guy who posts a meme that says, in conclusion, my dick hard. Thank you for that. That was a gift to humanity. This guy's a freaking amazing person. Thomas David, thank you. I mean, I'm assuming you live not where I live because that's a different language. But still, I'm glad that you got that meme out there. It's good deal. Good deal.
Good stuff. Sending good vibes everywhere.
This is like the fourth free DLC that Team Cherry has actually put out for Hollow Knight.
Well, did they say it's free? We don't know if it's free.
I would assume so. All of the other DLCs are free.
I mean,
but I guess this isn't entirely like new DLC that features a new playable character. I'm assuming.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, unless you're following her more, I don't know. But yeah, it seems like you're going to be playing as Hornet in this, and being a new character with different mechanics, I'm assuming, and different like actual assets that go into all of this. It might not be free, but regardless, I mean, people will still pick this up. Those who are like diehard fans of Hollow Knight are really into this. Obviously, there's a lot of likes and retweets going for just this tweet. I don't know why I stopped with that. But
we're both having issues.
I know. My brain is just going a little slow, and your mouth is going slow, so it's okay. Together, we're not fully functional.
We're a totally incapable human being. Yeah.
But at least we got each other, I guess, whatever that means. Anyway, so Hornet, I'm pretty excited for this. This will probably, especially if it's free, will probably get me back into the game just to check it out. I haven't played Hollow Knight in quite some time, but man, I really liked the game. It was so smooth and such a good actual Metroidvania that I can't wait for more of it. I'm not a big like lore guy in the Hollow Knight area, so I don't know how much of that will be, but I could definitely see just from, the Hornet boss fight that her kit would be a little bit different, and it would probably be very fun to actually traverse through the worlds with her abilities instead.
I, on the other hand, love lore. It's seriously one of my favorite things in Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight was actually one of my Game of the Year 2018 picks, even though technically, yes, its initial release was in 2017. Fuck off. I enjoy this game. I wanted to talk about it in 2018. Okay, guys? Jeez.
Technically, you talked about it in 2019. Didn't we do it in 2019? Or did we release it on 2018?
It's a thing. I don't know.
No way to find out. All right.
I'm pretty sure it's in 2018, but it was our Game of the Year 2018. So even if it was in 2019, technicalities and loopholes.
Yep, and there's no possible way to check.
Definitely not. Please do not go in our backlog of episodes. Speaking of other things, it's time to move on to our next story. This over on Twinfinite, just like basically every other story that we have today. It's a little weird. This written by Grayson Morales.
My boy Grayson.
It is. Do you actually know Grayson, or?
I mean, we talked some time
super
on Twitter.
stoked. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, we also read a lot of his stories, so I'm glad we're at least giving him credit for it.
Yeah, see? I mean, I don't really know him, but I make some comments every once in a while. He seems to be a fan of the old Mario RPG games, so I like him.
Oh, so you, him, and Errol are just best buds? You guys are like, let's talk about Paper Mario.
Well, first off, I wasn't referring to Paper Mario. I was referring to the 7 stars, nerd. And second off, Paper Mario is great, so shut your mace.
Okay. Did you just say shut your mace? Are we having a stroke today? What is happening?
We might be. Shut your mace. You heard me.
All right, so this article is everything. Fuck, dude. Nope. I'm done. Fucking podcast over.
This article is everything.
Evening Star is a new studio formed by Sonic Mania developers. Once again, written by Grayson Morales. Over on Twinfinite. We all know that a project such as... Okay, I'm going to skip like a decent chunk of this article, dude. Because this guy might be really cool, but he really takes a while to set this shit up. So the people behind Sonic Mania have opened a new studio. It's called Evening Star. The game studio is headquartered in Los Angeles with operations in Melbourne and London, whose mission is, according to the official website, design fresh, fun games that will stand the test of time. The site continues with more info on their goals. But overall, it's just kind of like cool. It's a nice little indie game studio. If you guys, I believe the actual how Sonic Mania came to be was fans making basically recreating how awesome Sonic used to be, and then Sega actually approached them and published it. Yep.
Published it. Yeah. Yep, that's what happened.
I hate today, dude.
It.
I hate it so much.
I love it. I say it makes it 10 times better.
I'm a mush mouth. Yeah, it's making it so much better. Did you play Sonic Mania? I was gonna buy it physically and then realized that I'm not great at video games.
Broke?
So no, I
was gonna say broke after all those games you bought. What do you mean you're not good at video games? It's Sonic.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm good at it. Sonic is all about speed. It's a platformer about speed, and I eat shit at video games.
You just go fast, all right? It doesn't matter. You just go fast.
You just gotta go fast? You gotta go faster.
Yeah.
Beep,
then again, I've only beaten Sonic, the original Sonic, but I haven't played the others in quite some time. But yeah, it could be pretty tough. Sonic Mania was actually a lot of fun, though. It definitely brought a lot of its roots back to that game. As far as like the older Sonics, which Sega for some reason just has trouble getting right now.
Now they just make really amazing 3D Sonic games, dude.
Yeah, sure. Like the ones where they give him guns and shit.
Yeah,
you know,
that's fucking awesome.
Perfect.
And he's featured
That's
in
what I
Super
think
Smash
of.
Bros. So
That's
3D games obviously got him there. 2D has nothing to do with it.
yeah. We'll go with that. But it was a lot of fun, and they put a lot of definite hard work and love into this series, as far as, you know, keeping that quota, not quota, but that style for Sonic games. So I'm interested to see where they go, because obviously opening up their own studio, they're not really going to be like, all right, we're going to do a Sonic game, because that would be probably a little, you know, anti making their own brand, so to speak. So I'm interested to see where they approach games, as far as, is this going to be something in, you know, the same realm as, you know, a fast-paced platformer? Is this going to be something totally different? Like, I really have no idea what to expect from this studio. I just know that they've created something that was great, and I'm hoping for more of that, obviously. But it is kind of interesting where they talk about being a boutique game studio, which seems a little strange. I don't know, maybe it's just a marketing thing.
What does that mean?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, it's very odd wording that they have in their on their website for kind of their mission statement of what they're trying to create. So designing fresh, fun games that will stand the test of time. I mean, that's kind of what everyone wants. So I don't know really where they stand or what they're going to actually create. But it should be interesting. I definitely look forward to whatever it is that comes out of the studio.
Especially if it's anything like Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania had an awesome like pixel art style. I really enjoyed it. And they put out a collector's edition that came with a statue of Sonic on a Sega Genesis, and it was really cool. And when you turned it on, it was like, Sega. But it only came with a digital copy of the game, and my friend who purchased it was real pissed about that. Yeah.
True struggles.
Seriously, it's like white people problems. And then, like a year later, they released it physically with a really weird box. I was not a fan of the box art, but that's a whole different thing. Sonic Mania looks really, really good. I need to play it. I really like. They do like short animations I've seen on just. I've just randomly seen it, and they look really cool. I also saw. I think Handsome Phantom put out a piece of the top 30 most iconic characters, and Tails was one of them. Not Sonic, not Knuckles, but Tails. I was like, what? I'm gonna call bullshit on that one. Who the fuck knows Tails?
I mean, that's kind of tough, because like, if you know Sonic, you know Tails for the most part. If you know Tails, you definitely know Sonic. Like,
if you know Sonic, you know Sonic. He's more iconic than Tails.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Is like, if Tails is on that list, so should Sonic.
Yeah, I don't think it was. But feel free to fact check me. Go check it out over on Handsome Phantom. For a oh, dude.
Oh, here we go. Don't worry, it's the last one. Okay.
Yeah,
we're gonna
I'm gonna have a mental breakdown over today. It's seriously, it's gonna happen. For our last news story of the day, we are over on Digital Sun Games' Twitter. They actually are the developers of a great little indie game called Moonlighter, also featured in our episode about our Game of the Years. I think by me, but you might also have really, really enjoyed Moonlighter as much as I did. But Moonlighter is receiving a Friends and Foes free update. It'll add new companions, and I'm not going to read the tweet because it says, like, just in time for Valentine's Day. Yeah, that doesn't matter to me. I just wanted to talk about how it's really cool. You get, like, new little monster companions, and you can actually raise them, which I'm sure Errol is just losing his shit over. The fact that like games are including like monster taming in it is pretty awesome. But I don't think I think you could take them into battle with you, but it's not like your typical monster tamer. It's not the JRPG turn-based kind of a thing. I think they just follow you in and they may give you buffs and or actually help you in combat, but I don't think much more than that. But somebody says my body is ready. Actually, that's Digital Sun Games, so no big deal. They included a really uncomfortable meme as well. I'm really glad that these indie games studios are getting into meme culture. It's pretty nice.
It's definitely something. I actually didn't ever play this game.
What?
It's always been on my radar and I've always wanted to, but I've just never picked it up.
It's so cool. It's basically like a storefront shop simulator mixed with a roguelike. It's so fun. It's so weird at the same time. But of course, it doesn't have like the standard. It's kind of a dulled down roguelike because you can actually like upgrade yourself and upgrade your armor and weapons that I don't believe disappear when you die. But I'm a little foggy on that one. But Digital Sun Games created a really, really awesome game. I'm actually definitely going to hop back into Moonlighter to try this out, as well as hopping back into Hollow Knight for that Hornet DLC. Dude, indie games are so awesome. I love indie games so much. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you guys haven't played Moonlighter or Hollow Knight, get your head out of your ass and play these awesome games, guys. They're so cool. Indie game studios are one of the few like things in the games industry that are still doing really cool and innovative stuff, and I'm glad they are. I'm very glad they are. And Josh also needs to play Moonlighter.
Yeah, my head is half up my ass apparently.
Yeah, only halfway, not fully though.
That's
so
only
you're
halfway.
fine.
I can only smell the stank.
Oh,
Not quite there yet.
you're not so deep in the chili ring that you're just like up in it.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
I got it. All right.
I'm like a little bit there though.
Speaking of cramming things, it's time for News Cram.
That transition, baby. Let's go. Cram.
So, News Cram is where we run you through a couple of news stories that we either did not know anything about or did not believe we could actually talk about. So that's the most honest opinion you're going to get on this podcast. Or just, yeah, I'm just going to go into it. So, for News Cram, we have 3 different stories, all from Twinfinite, because they're amazing. We've got Thimbleweed Park is Epic Game Store's free game at the end of February. Hopefully they don't go through and delete every file in the game that has anything to do with Steam or any other game platform. Here's hoping.
I mean, it might happen. You never know. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll be like a normal thing. Like every time they release it, they have to hot patch.
That would be hilarious. I would really enjoy that. If every game, for some reason, followed suit. They were just like, yeah, we just removed everything with Steam in this game. Video games may have delicate structures made of like millions, thousands upon millions of lines of code, but I'm pretty sure if I take out every file with the word Steam in it, we'll be fine. It'll be cool. It's fine. Our second news story on here is Killer Queen Black launching on Discord and Switch delayed to Q3 2019. That one is actually kind of interesting. Killer Queen is coming to Discord first when it releases in 2019, or Killer Queen Black, sorry, is coming to Discord first, and then like 90 days later is coming to Steam, but it's also coming to Switch, of course, so Steam players like yourself who don't want a million different stores like we've spoken about before, you could just pick it up on Switch, so that's cool.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of interesting though, because that's part of the Discord, like their marketing pitch for getting games on their platform is basically they help. I believe it was for a percentage of like getting them like funding the projects. But they basically sign an agreement where they have to go through that like 90-day period of, hey, you can't be on any other platform.
Yeah, they have time exclusivity, which, I mean, in the past has not been a great thing for video games. Rise of the Tomb Raider had timed exclusivity with the Xbox One, and then like a year later was released on PS4, and it definitely did not do as good as it probably could have. It's kind of depressing.
Yeah, I mean it's good for like the platform that's doing it because it tries to bring people to them, but it definitely hurts the actual developer and the content themselves just because it's old news by the time it comes out. And like it's tough, especially now because there's just so many games coming out that it's hard to pick up an old game half the time because you're like, oh, I feel so out of the loop. Like especially now for myself, like now that I'm trying to always have something that I want to discuss on, you know, the podcast or to write about, it's definitely one of those things where I look at older games and sometimes I'm like, I'm not even going to pick this up because I want something that's like out now.
Especially 90 days later. Like,
yeah,
you got, that's just, it's so weird to me. I do not think timed exclusivity is a good idea. It's not a good thing. But for our last story in News Cram is Guacamelee 1-2 Punch collection is coming soon to PlayStation 4 and Switch. This is a physical edition of Guacamelee 1 and 2 that also comes with a digital soundtrack that you get and a cool poster, I believe. Apparently, it's much cheaper than buying the games individually because I think they're like $20 each individually, and it's actually only like $30 to get the 1-2 Punch collection, which also comes with an additional little bit of like added goodies with it. So that's cool. Wow. But now it's time to get into one of my favorite segments of this podcast, and it is God Bless the Crowd. This is where we make kings, guys. This is where we single-handedly pull Kickstarters to glory, which, I mean, some of them may or may not have already reached their Kickstarter goals. That's because in the future, we're going to talk about them. Okay, guys? Just chill.
We put it on the docket before it happened, and people knew that we were going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So now it's already funded.
Yeah, dude. It's like manifest destiny.
I kind of want to look back on the episode where we talked about Little Legend just to see if it was actually already funded before.
It probably was. It probably was. So today we have 2 entries on God Bless the Crowd, both over on Kickstarter. So if you guys want to find them, just pop over on Kickstarter, go and search, type in their name, or go into the games tab. It's really easy to find stuff on there, contrary to my initial belief, which is, that's a thing. So today we've got Warp and Summer in Mara. So first I want to talk about Warp. It is an open world treasure hunting adventure game completely of paper. It looks really interesting. It reminds me a lot of like West of Loathing, how it had that interesting drawn art style, or indie platformer that recently just came out called, I believe it's Escape from Doodleland. I followed like the PR manager for that game on Twitter, and she tweets about it a lot, obviously, because that's her job. But I
would hope so.
I have yet to play either, but Warp actually looks really cool. Its trailer is like really odd and funny, and there's also an additional like video down at the bottom where the creator of the game explains the reward tiers, and it's super weird. It's obviously filmed on like an iPhone. It's kind of hilarious. I actually really liked it. It's weird and it's funny. So this game is I'm gonna let you explain it, Josh, because you're better at this than me. Which it sounds weird. I imagine you just read the Steam page, but or not Steam page, the Kickstarter page.
The Kickstarter? Yeah, so I'll do it without reading the Kickstarter page, and then you'll probably have to come in and save me when I start rambling, and we'll clean it up from there.
Sounds
but
good.
Essentially, it is very close to West of Loathing, which I thought was funny that I got into these both at the same time. I think there's something about me and picking up games in like large batches that are similar, like with this card game craze that I've had recently.
Oh, you like card games?
No, I don't actually. I hate
Sounds
them.
like you're lying, dude. Sounds like you fucking love card games.
I don't think that. Anyway, so so Warp is described as a hand-drawn open-world adventure, and it's really interesting because it reminds me, at least from the art style, of a game that I used to play called Wuppo, and it's just because it has a very like, not really cutesy in this way because a lot of the art style looks a little bit like grotesque, but it's just such a strange world because it's almost very badly drawn in a way, but like purposely. And so everything is crumbled up paper, and you're kind of on this very flat world, but have these kind of 2.5D-esque characters that are moving around in it. And it's basically a twin stick shooter. So your little character runs around and you're attacking these waves of enemies that are coming at you. Just from the trailer alone, I don't know exactly how in depth this will go in as far as the world, but it does say open world. So I'm assuming this is going to be a very vast, canvas, so to speak, since you're walking around on what will be almost just kind of like a desk.
I believe
in a weird state.
The page, it says there's 4 different worlds, so you just head in whatever directions you want. Yeah, the game is completely open with 4 different worlds for you to explore, with each world being accessible through the main hub city.
Yeah, but it doesn't say anything about what those worlds entail, right?
That's a good point. Yeah, no, I don't think it does. It says there are 2 distinct genres. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, so that's more of where I'm going, is like, what does that world actually look like? Because if you look at it just from a perspective, you're really not going to get much of a change, because you're, obviously using this black and white paper background where it's just a drawing, so to speak. So how they'll get creative with that, I don't know. But regardless, it looks like it has a very God, I'm just looking at some of the images on here and they just look so goofy. Like, this is definitely a game that I will pick up if it does get backed, just because it, for the most part, will just be a good story to tell of like, hey, check out this game. This looks weird as fuck, but you got to play it. Like, I don't know. It definitely has some very creepy elements and vibes to it as well. I did not watch the video of him talking about the different backing or like the tiers, but just from the initial part of him wearing that weird ass crown, like,
he changes his hat. He changes his hat like 3 times in the video. It's so weird.
Oh my god. Yeah, see, like, I just want this to win because I really like the team behind it. I feel like they would come up with some really crazy things inside this game. But basically, yeah, it's a twin stick shooter. I don't know too much more than that, just from the basics of it, but it does look like you'll have normal enemies to fight throughout it, as well as these boss battles. And then there's a bunch of other things that they say you could do, such as buying houses and playing at the arcade. So it seems like they're going to try to implement a lot more than just fighting people twin stick shooting style. So it definitely seems like something that is worth the pickup, because it's only $10 for the early bird right now if you get it, and then if not, it's $15, which still isn't that bad.
Still got 11 left at time of recording for the early bird. $10. This game looks really cool.
Yeah, so I mean, that being said, I don't know how much content is obviously going to be in those 4 worlds, but still, for $10, that's really not that much to support this crazy guy with a crown.
Dude, this guy must be like obsessed with hats, because literally one of the reward tiers includes hats. You actually, I think it's $4,000. You get a hat.
Whew. That's a pricey hat.
That's a hefty one. But interesting enough, they actually offer, they're one of the few Kickstarters, and he, in that video where he talks about the rewards tiers, he actually comments on, they're one of the few Kickstarters that you actually can get some sweet physical goods for a really like low amount. For $50, you can actually get a physical copy of the game signed, and you get like a cool mug, along with, of course, the like closed beta access, and you get your name in the credits. You get a digital copy of the game and the soundtrack. This is actually a really it seems like rewarding Kickstarter. I think it looks really cool. And just a random offset, Whoopo also has a physical copy published by Sodesco. You can pick it up, guys. Yeah.
Oh,
I own it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even joking. I own it. Yeah.
You've played the game?
I played only a little bit of it, but
you piece of shit! You play that fucking game.
Yeah, I've had it for like a year.
Dude, that is legit one of my favorite fucking games.
Is it really? Is it that good?
Right fucking now. Cut the podcast. We're done. Go play that game.
Okay, I'll add it to my massive backlog. I got to get back into Moonlighter, Hollow Knight, and Whoopo. But Warp has, it's got 17 days left to go. It's only asking for a small goal. His goal is only $7,000, which it shouldn't be hard to hit for a game like this cool looking, this weird and interesting looking. Like we've talked about some shitty games. Let's be real. There was that cow game.
I
wanted,
knew you were gonna say
100K.
some shit, dude.
That game is fucking dumb. And if they even got $1, this game needs to succeed because that game was so stupid. But they've, at time of recording, they have $1,216 toward their $7,000 goal with 17 days left to go. So please head over to the Warp Kickstarter and give them $1 or $2. The early bird is $10. The actual game you get is $15. Which it says you get a cheap copy of the game, so I'm assuming when the game actually comes out, it'll be 20 or possibly 25. So that's just a guess. But you can also get some sweet physical rewards for only $50, which is, I mean, that's actually a decent price. Normally, physical copies of games go for the standard is $30. But for $50, you get the physical copy signed and you get a mug. So that's pretty cool. Mug looks really cool. It's like the creator's art style, his weird art style, but drawn on a mug. And it's got a weird guy with nipples that's wearing a dog collar. And nope, that's a belt as a collar.
Yep.
I guess all people really have nipples. This guy just has his nipples showing. I should clarify.
Hey man, don't exclude the non-nipple people. There's people out there.
I'm really wondering if that's a thing. If people are born without nipples.
I'm sure there's a thing. There's weird shit every day. There's got to be someone without nipples.
That's awesome. So our other game, Summer in Mara, is an adventure game set in a tropical ocean. Take care of your own island in single-player summer adventure with farming and crafting. Explore with your boat. I hate that they just include that. It's explore with your boat. That's the sentence, supposedly. Hey, on PC, Switch, or PS4, PC, and Switch. I think this game looks really cool, specifically because of its weird aesthetic. So it's the actual game. Its art style is similar to. I'm totally blanking on the game that I'm trying to talk about right now.
It reminds me of that one game that just came out. The my mind's blanking as well.
Isn't that
it just
annoying?
Recently came out. It was a farming game.
Yeah, no, that's the same game I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I'm so annoyed right now.
Yeah, let me do a quick search.
But my favorite part about the trailer is that it actually has this really cool animated trailer to begin with, similar to how Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap, that similar art style. But then of course it moves into a much more it's not low poly. It just looks gamey. It looks like a video game. It kind of its graphics look similar to Ni no Kuni, but not as polished. It's kind of almost there. But its characters, other than the just standard human characters, look really interesting. There's the little shell creature that's a shell but a person at the same time. It looks like a weird little creature. I don't really know how to explain it, but it looks really awesome. I love a lot about the art style of this game. I will say that I wish the art style was more animated, but I'm not gonna I would never knock it for that. It looks really cool. I didn't have a chance to check out many of the tiers, but I mean, what is up with people's obsession with farming in games? Seriously, I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the things where for me I don't know. I only really like these style of games when it comes to Animal Crossing. Other than that, I feel like that's enough. I can't do these games because they're I never really got into Stardew Valley because it's just so much of and I'm not knocking the game. It's a great game.
Because I had annoying Pixdex animations. That's why you didn't get into it, right?
Yeah. That's definitely my one issue with it. It's just that it's too much. It just doesn't I could farm if I wanted to. I don't want to do that in real life. I don't want to do it in a game.
I don't want to do that in real life. Games are about escapism. I don't want to do what I could do in real life in a game.
Yeah. I wanna wield the Keyblade. I don't want to, or be a stick figure in the Old West. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to farm for you.
That I do know what you're saying. But yeah, Summer and Mara looks really, really cool. Oh, the creature I'm talking about, it's called Napopo, I guess. Like all creatures of her race, Napopo cares very much for the other species that live in the ocean. Also, she can feel if someone is pure of heart or a dangerous person. I mean, if they're a dangerous person, I'm assuming the majority of us can feel that. It's just saying, it doesn't seem like a special talent.
Only Napopo knows.
Yeah, Napopo is apparently very special. Oh my god, there's like a cool guy with horns. There's cat people, there's squid people, there's a guy who looks like a fawn. This is some cool shit. This game has a really interesting world. I like it a lot. And it seems like she's the only just like human. What the fuck? Why are there like no humans in this game?
It is kind of strange. It takes a little strange turn for context there, because nothing. I don't see anything that's human, but I see other creatures that look the same, like, so like there's their species, but she's just like the only human.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, she's not the only human. When you look in the art, like a portion of the Kickstarter page, you see other humans. So it's like, okay, there are other humans, but there's a couple different humans if you scroll down.
Okay, there's one. Yeah, I didn't.
The aesthetic of this world reminds me a lot of Treasure Planet. Now that I'm like scrolling more through it, so I might have to back this fucking game, dude. I mean, it's already getting made. It has actually already reached its goal. Not saying that's because of us. Not saying it's not. It had a goal of $22,673, and it has definitely surpassed that. It's doubled that. It currently has $53,635, and it's only got 21 days left to go. I don't know why I said only. That's the majority of the month.
21 days to make more money.
Yeah, seemingly just in a couple days they made a shitload of money. So good for them, though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It does look kind of, I mean, I don't want to do the farming part, but I do like the fact that you get to explore on your boat to the other islands around and like explore this weird, just so different and odd world with all these creatures. I would love to find out why you're just a little girl alone in the world with a boat, but I'm sure they say something about it.
While watching the trailer, it kind of hints at that. It basically, like at the end of the trailer, it shows like a ship exploding. It's just like one of the weird little squid creatures is fishing, and then it shows this seemingly pirate ship like exploding, and then she goes over to it and finds a baby inside there. And then another one of the characters, like earlier on in the trailer, says, "You have your grandmother's soul." So I'm assuming she's technically an orphan, but the woman who like found her and raised her is what's thought to be like her grandmother or something, or like maybe the game is about her trying to find her origins or something. I don't really know, but it seems pretty cool so far. I mean, I'm into it, and I shit talk a lot of these games, guys.
I know, man. I'm doing good these last couple of weeks. I've gotten a lot of
praise.
Definitely recommendations. This has been going well. Good job, Kickstarter.
It has more than 150 quests. Damn. Over 20 characters to meet and trade with. More than 130 inventory items to craft, use, and trade. Ooh. You can improve your boat, unlock and acquire new skills and abilities for Koa. And it has a day-night cycle. That's cool.
Did you see how she swings an axe?
Fuck, dude. The game, its name is Yonder the Cloudcatcher Chronicles. That's what it's called. That's the game I was thinking of. It was annoying the shit out of me that I couldn't remember that.
See, there you go.
No, I have not seen the way she swings an axe. Is it fucking weird? I'll be done. I'm not going to be into this game anymore.
It's very correct. She's swinging it the way she should.
Oh, so you agree the way she should. There is a specific way.
There's a way. But it doesn't bother me if she swings it incorrectly.
Obviously, you're not a purist like I am. I'm not knocking you, but I definitely think you need to change your opinion. You know what I mean?
Well, too bad that'll never happen.
This game looks really, really cool. I think it looks awesome. You how much do you have to put into it to actually get the game? Yeah, digital copy of the game, $18 US. That's not terrible. You get the digital download for PC, PS4, or Switch. You actually get your name in the credits as a sailor, and you get the welcome pack, which includes wallpaper for mobile and PC and other goodies. I definitely think it's weird that it says "and other goodies."
Other goodies, yeah. What is
Your Steam page is or not your Steam page. The Kickstarter page is literally the place where you would explain these other goodies.
Nah, man. You gotta just believe.
I guess. I don't really know. I'm glad. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of shit to talk about these games. No, like $1. Thanks for pledges. Oh, I would like to say though, Warp in its in the developers like little commentary on the different Steam tiers, he actually talks about the beta, and he's like, yeah, you get to you get like do work and pay me for it. And I was like, see, dude, I'm not the only one who thinks this shit is like basically a scam. You pay them to do their job.
I mean, somebody's got to do it.
Now as a developer, that's it's serious when that guy says it.
I mean, I think it would be more fitting that he does say it. If it was a marketing person saying it, I'd be like, damn, because they're supposed to float and like make things all nice and proper. Developers, they don't care. They're just building stuff. He's like, I want to make this thing, and you're gonna test it for me because you're an idiot.
Developers are pretty candid. There's literally Tom Happ was just like, oops. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, see? Oops. I gave out the information that I wanted you to work for me.
No big deal. But now I think it's about time we move into one of our last segments of the podcast. This is the indie games release schedule. So we pick out, or I find the indie games that are releasing in any given week, put them into a nice little list, and I read them off to you guys, generally flubbing at least one thing and saying Fries Day like 5 times during an episode. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. It definitely does not haunt my dreams.
It's probably my favorite part about the week. I look forward to hearing Fries Day.
Luckily, I have not done it in a while. This week, we sadly do not have a whole lot of games on this indie games release schedule. Literally, like, so Kotaku, when I went to make this release schedule, Kotaku did not have their This Week in Games. The drop was literally like the only thing that was up on the PlayStation blog. That was like the only one that I normally use that actually had any titles on it. Otherwise, I use like VGReleaselist.com, and they only had like 3 things. I was like, wow, you guys are really slacking on this. I don't understand. But time to get into this. These are the games that are releasing between February 10th and the 16th. This is our multiple category. Each of these is out now, or should be by the time you're hearing this. So you can actually go pick these up on seemingly your PlayStation 4. All 3 of these are for PS4 or PS Vita and or VR. So we've got Alvestia Chronicles comes to PlayStation 4 and PS Vita. It's cross-buy and it is out right now. Mix-Ups by Pogi is for PS4 and PS Vita. That is cross-buy and it is out now. And Zing, X-I-N-G, Zing, The Land Beyond is on PS4 and PSVR right now. You can go pick those up now. Now moving on to PlayStation 4, we've got Canarium. Would you say that's how you say that? Canarium?
Canarium.
Okay, cool. Canarium is out on PS4. Hyper Jam is out on PS4. The King's Bird is out on PS4. Meow Motors is out on PS4. Minesweeper Genius is out on PS4 on Wednesday, February 13th. And Degrees of Separation is out on PS4 Thursday, February 14th. Seemingly no indie games coming out to the Xbox One, and we already talked about our Vita titles. Now over on... Is Tetris 99 actually an indie game, or did you just include that?
I don't think so. I just included it.
Fucking, that is such a... Okay, so the Nintendo Direct happened before we started recording this podcast, and Tetris 99 is so fucking dumb. It is a Tetris Battle Royale game, and I hate that I exist in this reality. I want to live on Earth 23, where every game is physical, there aren't any digital copies, and everybody just leaves Battle Royale games the fuck alone. That's the world I want to live in.
Nah. Bad world. Tetris 99 is going to be amazing. I mean, it looks kind of basic, but
dumb.
I just think it's so funny that they actually did that. I like that they didn't say Battle Royale though. Like at all during the
every
direct.
fucking article says it's a battle royale.
Yeah, everyone is describing it as that.
It's so annoying.
99. I mean, I'm a big Tetris nerd. I love the game. I think it's pretty dope.
It's got to annoy somebody over at Nintendo that they keep calling it a battle royale.
It's all good. Tetris 99.
So there's only actually one Switch title I have on the list right now, and it is Ollie Ollie Switch Stance is coming to Switch Thursday, February 14th, and only one down for Windows PC as well, and that is Away Journey to the Unexpected comes to Windows PC Wednesday, February 13th. So that's about it for the Indie Games release schedule, and since there are so little, I think we could pretty much skip our selections. I would like to talk about The King's Bird. It's like a fast-paced platformer. But other than that, not a whole lot here. Away Journey to the Unexpected looks really cool. It released on like every other platform last week, and it's finally on Windows PC supposedly now, which is really cool.
The Degrees of Separation game looks pretty cool though.
Oh, that's the weird fire and ice one.
So yeah, so it's like it's basically fire. It's two characters. One represents fire, one represents ice, and they can't basically cross paths. And it's like a co-op game, puzzle game where you have to basically use your abilities to traverse through the world. It looks pretty interesting. It's definitely one of those, like, if you have a buddy that's over and you want to play a game together, this seems like something that would be cool to pick up.
It's like Shark Boy and Lava Girl, the game.
Yeah, I'm sure that's really what they're aiming for.
I want them to use that as a poll quote. That would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, good luck on that.
So now I think it's about time for me to ask my probing question of you. So this one is not actually that probing. I just thought I'd get you off on a bad start for the podcast. And you guys will finally understand why I dislike today so much. So there was I was listening to Kind of Funny Games Daily today, which had Imran Khan on it from Game Informer, and he and Tim Geddes were talking. They're both Nintendo guys. They love Nintendo, and they were both talking about the Nintendo Direct and speculation of what was going to happen. And Imran Khan said that the biggest like lead he had for it was that there was a franchise that was going to be coming back from the dead, basically, that nobody would really have expected. And I wanted to know if there was any franchise that you could revitalize and just get another game out of it. What comes to the top of your head?
Oh, instant Paper Mario.
Really? Fucking Mario?
Dude, fucking scrap
Didn't
it down.
Sticker Star come out like 2 weeks ago?
Get rid of all that bullshit. Yeah,
ago?
those aren't even games. Those are literal just trash garbage that they put on the system that does not need to be there. Like, strip all that shit away. Don't even count that stupid like platformer Paper Mario version of it. I want another 1,000 Year Door style game.
Oh, Color Splash. That was also on. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was on
sucks.
the Wii U.
They all suck. Those, like, after 1,000 Year Door, everything is garbage to me. It's just I want that series back, the good series, not the terrible series.
It's kind of weird how much people love Paper Mario. Me personally, I think Mario is a douchebag, so I don't really play any Mario games. But yeah, that's my opinion. No big deal.
Just a douchebag? Why?
Okay, so this is something I've been really thinking on for like years, and I have this weird fan theory that Mario is actually the dictator of the Mushroom Kingdom, and all of the Mario games, excluding the first one, are actually just propaganda. That he's basically trying to make it seem like he came in and he basically like just wiped out the indigenous population of the Mushroom Kingdom and then somehow just saved a princess, which his brother and a few princesses are like the only people that are actually humans. That definitely seems like some propaganda, dude. Also, he ditches Yoshi. What a fucking dickhead. Yoshi's like the nicest thing ever. It fucking swallows eggs. It's his companion for life. And then most players just ditch it into a hole. No big deal. That's why I think Mario's an asshole. No big deal. But the games that I would revitalize the series are like the franchises that I would actually like to get something from. And it doesn't really matter if these franchises were to put a new game on the Switch or on the 3DS, but I would actually like to see another either Spectrobes or Fossil Fighters game. Both of these were when like there was like this big like fossil like excavation thing, kind of. It was like a weird trend on the DS. Spectrobes has like 3 different games, I believe, and Fossil Fighters has 3 as well. Maybe I think there's Fossil Fighters 1 and 2, and then there's Frontier, and there's Spectrobes 1, Beyond the Portals, and then I think it was there was another Spectrobes that's on the Wii. But I would like to see just another of either of these series. I really actually liked the excavation mechanics. I thought that was really fun. Spectrobes specifically, I just really liked the character designs and I thought it was really cool. But yeah, those are just my weird like games that I would choose. If Errol were here, he would probably agree with me because they're both monster tamers in a way. They're freaking cool. Okay?
Huh. Pretty cool.
Did you ever play either of those series?
No, I haven't actually. I've never even heard of them.
Do you like dinosaurs?
I mean, yeah.
Fossil Fighters, cool. Dude. It's all about dinosaurs. It's a turn-based RPG where you fucking dig up or it's a turn-based monster tamer, like standard monster tamers. But instead of like weird-esque monsters who actually just dig up dinosaurs, it's like Jurassic Park the game, but not the Telltale one.
This looks really familiar.
They're weird. They're really cool though.
Interesting. I thought of another game though that I would want to come back. This was an older GameCube game.
It's because you realize Mario's a dickhead, right?
Yeah, you've convinced me. Although I'm not saying that if Paper Mario did come out that I wouldn't play it, but sure, he's a dickhead. But no, one of the games that I really enjoyed, but I definitely don't think they'll ever make another game of, is Chibi Robo. Have you ever played that?
I have not played the first one. I really want the physical copy of it. My local game store has one, but it's like $60, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to play that. And I do have Ziplash, including the amiibo, but I have heard that it is not good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I want something that's closer to the original. So kind of like the same thing. But
so what's so bad about Ziplash from the original? I don't understand why people hate it, but I also haven't played the original, and I've only played a little bit of Ziplash.
I don't really know. It just doesn't feel the same to me. I don't really have a good way to describe it. It just didn't feel the same. And honestly, I really don't like, and it's going to sound weird since I love Switch, but I would kind of chunk it down anyway, just because I don't like handhelds. I hate playing games that are on tiny screens.
Makes sense.
So I want my big version of Chibi Robo, as dumb as that sounds.
All right. Yeah, the first Chibi Robo came out on GameCube, correct? And then Ziplash is out on 3DS.
Yeah, so I would want a new version of that, or even a remake, like a remastering of it for the original one. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of a dumb concept because you're basically a robot that just cleans trash.
Still fun.
But yeah, it was really
He's
fun.
really
like,
cute.
It was just a good like puzzle-esque game because you had your energy that you had to plug yourself into electrical sockets, otherwise you would end up killing yourself by doing things around the house. I don't know. It was just it was a good game that I would love to see more of. I like those, games that they're much farther from, the common, like, oh, here's an enemy, attack it with a gun or some weird ability, and that's pretty much like the premise of the game. Like games where it takes that, even though it's kind of a mundane option, which I guess is kind of stupid based on my argument about the farming thing, but maybe I just don't like farming. But
like you don't like card games. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what I'm talking about. But something about the fact that you were that little robot and being able to go through and just kind of solve all those different puzzles of being the best little helper you could be was just oddly satisfying.
Do you remember last year when people were so desperate for a new Chibi Robo game that they were lighting their Chibi Robo amiibos on fire for an impending like Nintendo Direct because they thought a Chibi Robo sequel was going to come? Or I guess it would be like technically a trilogy.
Yeah, I do not.
It was fucking
all.
awesome. Yeah, people. So with Ziplash, they put out a Chibi Robo amiibo, which is this really cute amiibo of Chibi Robo sitting down with his little plug on top of his head. Yeah, and people were lighting him on fire as like a sacrificial lamb. It was awesome. It was one of my favorite things to happen because Nintendo. I don't know. It's fucking weird. How about we put Chibi Robo in Smash? How about that? That'd be cool. Anybody else looking for that? They put in Piranha Plant. Why can't they put in fucking Chibi Robo?
I mean, they already have Rob.
Oh, Rob can eat my ass. All he does is spin.
Yeah.
Chibi Robo would at least be like somewhat like Richter, where he has like a whip and he just uses his plug as a whip, like beating the shit out of people. That'd be so cool. So cool, Josh.
Yeah. I guess so. But, you know, like, one of the things about that, like, with Ziplash, like, there's so much stuff in that game that was just not even a thing in the original. Like, that whip thing wasn't... Like, you didn't really fight a lot of things in the original. Like, it's... I don't know. It's just a very... It's a very different game. It's, like, not Chibi Robo at all, like, what I'm looking for.
That makes sense. All right.
But, I mean, they definitely could make him into, like, that version of him into a fighter in Smash. Or at least, at the very least, an assist trophy.
It would just make... I'd be surprised if he was one. But yeah, thank you guys. That's about it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. We do this podcast every week. We haven't missed a week yet. 18 episodes in. It's pretty nice. Do this every week. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, you can actually listen to this on Spotify, Google Music, and on YouTube as well. Make sure if you would like some written content, check out parallaxmedia.one is our host site. It's where Josh writes a decent amount of articles for. And make sure you guys watch out for that sweet, lovable Hollow Knight article that's going to be coming out on Thursday. So technically it'll be out by the time that this podcast airs, but still, go check it out. It's really like weird and funny. I actually really liked it. If I'm being honest though, and I really just need to be honest about this, I don't know the author's name. I know what his Discord handle is, which I'm not going to say what it is, but I don't know his name. I'm going to call him Roger because that's what I feel like his name might be. So make sure you check out Roger's Hollow Knight article all about love interests.
His name is not Roger, it's Ross. It's Ross Howerton.
Holy shit, no way. His name actually starts with an R?
It's not Roger.
Is his name really Ross?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I didn't know his name actually started with an R.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, go check out Ross's article all about the love interests in Hollow Knight, and also make sure you pick up those sweet Hollow Knight plushes over on fangamer.com. No big deal. They're super cool. Fuck you, Josh. Thank you guys so much for listening to this. You can follow me outside of the show at iLegion on Twitter, and you can follow Josh at _Jorsh90. Super easy to find us, super easy to talk to us. And I'd be really interested to talk to you guys. Nobody messaged me about them shitting their pantses. I was really depressed about that. I really wanted to know.
I'm not surprised about that one.
Yeah, I mean, not many people want to go on a public forum and tell other people that you shit your pants. Never do. So yeah, I haven't shit my pants. I don't have to have that weird conversation.
Neither do I. But if anyone, hears this episode and feels like they're finally brave enough to let us know, we're still open. Our doors are always open for those pants shitters.
That's very true. I mean, you can even DM me. I'll go that far. You don't even have to let people know. I'm not saying I won't screenshot it and tweet it anyway, but you can DM me, guys. I might not tell people that you've shit your pants. Okay? Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Indie Incursion Podcast, and I hope you guys have a great day.
Bye, guys.